This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Who's the bimbo?
Michelle Pfeiffer's a gangster's widow, but she's still one of the family.
I want a divorce!
Love is forever when you're married to the mob someday.
Hi, guys. How you doing? Great. How you doing? Pretty good. Good to have you home. Thank you.
And it is good to be home. More than 100 members of the Minnesota National Guard returned from Operation Desert Storm. In Washington, more rejoicing as 21 former POWs come home to a high-power welcome from U.S. officials. In North Carolina, they're celebrating with a parade. Thousands line the streets to root for the troops. Homecomings, ceremonies, warm welcomes. All that next on Eyewitness News.
You should know that if you have an accident, it's your right to choose your own auto body repair facility. It's a law. No one can tell you where to have your vehicle repaired. So when looking for the right body shop, look for repair technicians that are ASE or ICAR certified. Ask if original equipment replacement parts will be used, and find out if the body shop gives written guarantees. Remember, you've paid for a quality repair. You might as well get what you paid for.
This message has been brought to you by the Automotive Service Association.
It's morning, and another day. There are kids to get dressed, breakfast to be made. But for a few moments, you have a little time to think of what this is all about. What it's about is big people helping little people to be big themselves one day. It's not easy, but what else could you possibly do that could ever be so important? MJB wishes you a good morning and a wonderful day.
You shouldn't have to choose your oak furniture from catalogs. That's why at Thompson Oak, we keep thousands of pieces in stock, making everyone else's selection seem a little flat. Thompson, the biggest name in oak furniture. If the choices in oak furniture at your typical furniture store seem rather small, come to Thompson Oak. The selection here is huge. Thompson, the biggest name in oak furniture.
You're watching KSTP Channel 5, St. Paul, Minneapolis. Now, live from your 24-hour news channel, Stan Turner and the entire Eyewitness News team. This is Eyewitness News.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. Parents greet children, husbands and wives hug. Familiar pictures, but this time the homecoming is right here in the Twin Cities. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. I'm Stan Turner. Minnesota's 1st National Guard unit has come home. Members of the 133rd Tactical Airlift Wing arrived amidst cheering crowds at the Twin Cities Air National Guard Base. Inga Hammond was there, and she joins us now live from the control center. And Inga, a familiar sight out at the base today.
It certainly was. The sights and sounds were familiar, but the circumstances a little different. Instead of being stationed in Saudi Arabia, these troops were stationed in Europe and flew support missions to the Mideast. Unlike some of the troops we've seen come home, this unit was only gone 3 to 6 weeks. But for the families, none of that made the separation any easier or the homecoming any less emotional.
Well, we'll be excited to see Daddy, won't we? Yes, we will.
April Eshelman's husband, little Andrew's father, should arrive any minute. She tends to the baby while sons David and Scott argue over the binoculars, looking for a glimpse of Dad's plane. For the Eshelmans, it has been a tough time to be apart.
He said, oh, please don't let him walk while I'm gone. Please don't let him walk. So he's not walking quite yet, so he'll be happy. He didn't want to miss any developmental step.
As the first of 4 C-130s comes in for a landing, Dennis Avahold breathes a little easier. His son's on the plane.
Great relief. You know, it's not just the wartime stuff. There's a lot of accidents happen just flying back and forth, so yeah, great relief.
More than 100 supporters come to greet the troops, waving flags, holding back tears, or at least trying to. They begin to move onto the runway. The troops walk off the plane, get a quick handshake, and it's time for what they've been waiting for. Dennis looks through the crowd, trying to spot his son. Eventually, he finds him.
Hi, guys. How you doing? Great. How you doing? Pretty good. Good to have you home.
For Tim and many returning troops, the supportive greeting is overwhelming.
It's nice to come home to this kind of welcome. I don't know. It feels good, I guess.
An hour later, another plane arrives. This one carries April's husband.
You see the airplane? Look for the airplane.
But oldest son Scott's already seen it.
Run out there and give him a big hug. I'm going to say, hi, Dad.
Pioneers! Pioneers! Oh, Hail Mary! All the way!
Daddy's home. Daddy's home. It's Daddy.
For the Eshelmans and the rest of the military families, there is truly no place like home.
Only a small part of a larger war game, but it was great to be back.
And 118 Guard troops came home today. When asked what they were going to do now, most of the families just said spend time together. And they better do that quickly because the next rotation of the 133rd is scheduled for late April. So, Stan, many of the troops that came home today will be going back very soon.
All right, then, Inga, we saw lots of families out there greeting the troops. Any other groups on hand?
Yeah, actually, members of the group SOCOM, Support Our Country's Military, were out there. There was also a group of Vietnam vets. And coming up at 10, we'll talk to some of those about the differences between this homecoming and the one that they got years ago.
All right, thank you very much, Inga. We have disappointing news this evening about missing Airman Charlie Turner. Now the Navy says there was never a signal from Turner or his co-pilot after their plane was shot down over Kuwait. When Turner was declared missing in action on January the 18th, the Navy told his family there had been a transmission from either the missing men or their plane. But in a letter delivered to the Turners Friday, the Navy said, and we quote, "We've analyzed the voice tapes. There were several clicks, but there seems to be nothing coming from any downed airplane." The letter also says no crash site has been pinpointed and searchers did not find any wreckage. The Navy continues, the Joint Rescue Coordination Center has closed the case, but still will work to continue to look for wreckage. Navy officials we talked with today emphasized that plan.
Unfortunately, the general location where we believe the aircraft to have gone down could place it over the water, which would complicate the search quite a lot. We're still searching. We're going to continue to search with everything we have available, and that search will continue for quite some time.
Defense Secretary Dick Cheney says the U.S. will continue investigating MIAs for the next 3 months. 21 Americans who feared they would never see their families and friends again are back in America this evening. The former POWs arrived at Andrews Air Force Base, and our national correspondent, Bob Constantini, was there for the ceremony. And Bob joins us now live from Washington. Bob.
Well, Stan, it must have been one super party on that plane. We're told that balloons and pizza abounded in the cabin during the 21 hours it took to get from Bahrain to Andrews Air Force Base today. When they landed, only family members could actually get close to the returning POWs, but the distance from the crowd did not dampen the spirit. They called it Someday, a reminder that as POWs, they would someday get home. Freedom 1, as the plane was dubbed, had a big yellow ribbon on the main door. Indeed, all 21 returning POWs received the fanfare befitting heroes. The highest-ranking returnee spoke for all of them, addressing Secretary Cheney, General Colin Powell, and the crowd.
The conduct during captivity of the ladies and gentlemen beside me has been without question. Their sense of honor and duty to country has been beyond reproach. We salute the courageous leadership of President Bush, yourself, and our theater commanders.
The airbase was festooned with signs, including one well above the crowd on the main control tower.
Nothing we say today can erase the loneliness and the dread that were your constant companion while prisoners of war. Only you and those who have shared this special ordeal can understand how it feels to return to freedom.
The ceremony was brief, so the soldiers could quickly get some time with their families. Some of the prisoners of war who returned today require some medical attention. Others appear to be very fit at this time. Stan?
All right. Thank you very much, Bob, for that report. Well, homecoming celebrations continue all over the United States today. One of the biggest is in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where troops are returning to Fort Bragg. Our Mike Binkley spent this day watching that parade, and Mike joins us now live from Fayetteville. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Stan. I'll tell you what, you don't leave a parade like the one they had here today without being loaded up with ribbons and buttons and flags. It's just not allowed. The party has just started winding down here within the last half hour or so, but I'll tell you what, these soldiers are still basking in the glory. Through the streets of Fayetteville, North Carolina, pasted with every size flag imaginable, the matinee idols, the men these girls could hardly contain themselves over, are the Desert Storm troops, and look at their smiles. For an hour and a half, this parade route erupted with cheers and smiles. Here in the lower left is another one of the men just back from Saudi Arabia, Roger Cox of Woodbury, Minnesota.
The American public has shown so much support, and it means the world to the soldiers.
I'm so proud of the American public, and I'm so proud of the troops. But to me, I'll be much happier when they all get back safely.
This is a parade that was planned many weeks ago as a Support Our Troops rally. But with more than 1,000 military men and women arriving back to Fayetteville Friday and Saturday, it became a lavish welcome home. One family wrapped itself in the flag to watch the parade. Many more servicemen and women will be coming back in the next few months, and these people plan parties for them, too.
We know that all the guys are coming back, and we like to have them welcome home, not to remember the times of Vietnam.
And there were several Vietnam veterans in the crowd here today, and all of them that we talked with seemed to agree. They thought this was wonderful. One man told me it won't heal the scars that he still has, but it indicated to him that America had learned a lesson from what he went through. We'll be back here tonight at 10 with more. Stan?
All right, great. Feel good stuff. Thank you very much, Mike. Well, locally in Stillwater, people joined hands in a show of support for the troops who remain in the Gulf. They are calling this Hands Across the Water. People formed a human chain across the St. Croix River to symbolize American support reaching across the seas. Area chapters of Support Our Country's Military, SOCM, organized the gathering, and Eyewitness News will continue in just a moment.
College degree. Don't think nothing wrong about my man. He means everything to me. He's my strength, and his love brings true. By that Miller beer, the best comes shining through.
Outrageous.
Get conservative. Have you got your pearls on?
Yeah, gotta look good.
Bad. Fresh. Younger, older.
She showed me a gazillion different frames.
Have you got your pearls on?
Those are definitely pearls.
Definitely pearls.
Bought one pair with a coupon and they gave me a second pair. Promised they'd be perfect. Guaranteed it.
Why just wear glasses when you can put on pearls?
I mean, I gotta look good.
Pearl and Pearl Vision Express for glasses in 1 hour. Call 1-800-YES-EYES for locations.
America, it's here. USA Exercise Equipment, featuring the best selection of free weights and cardiovascular equipment for your home. Treadmills, recumbent bikes, air rowers, and the latest in stair climbers. The Twin Cities' largest selection of free weights with standard and Olympic plates, dumbbells, benches, and accessories. Plus, own this complete deluxe home workout gym for only $79 per month. Just north of Brookdale on Bass Lake Road and Xerxes Brooklyn Center, and the corner of University and Vandalia, St. Paul.
Light FM 103. Perfect for spending the day. To have on at work, keep you company at home, to unwind in the car.
Soft as an easy chair.
Soft light music, less talk, so you can spend the day. This is the one. Light FM 103, WLTE.
Imagine walking away with only a few cuts and bruises after your car went off a highway, down an embankment, through a chain-link fence, through a pile of snow, across a parking lot, and into the entry of an apartment building. Wow. Well, that's what happened to the driver of this car this morning in Brooklyn Center. Hardly a scratch. Not only was the driver lucky, there was no one in the apartment entryway where the car wound up. The wall of an adjoining bathroom also punctured, but nobody was in there either. The Highway Patrol is now trying to figure out why the car took this strange detour. It was northbound on Highway 252 about 8 this morning. The driver was not charged. A Columbia Heights Boy Scout today received that organization's highest award of heroism. Chad Johnson now holds the Honor Medal with crossed palms for saving the lives of 8 friends while swimming off the Florida coast. He received his award today at a ceremony at the First Lutheran Church of Columbia Heights. During the rescues, Chad risked his own life as he carried each victim to safety. He was unaware that he was being slashed by rocks. He suffered 72 cuts from the waist down.
But you just kind of had to do what you thought was best, and luckily I made the right decision.
Chad is nearing completion work on his Eagle Scout rank. Wow. Other Minnesotans are out this weekend performing some laudable acts. Look at Medicine Lake and Plymouth. And what do you see? Well, you see a lot of ice and quite a bit of garbage. That's why volunteers from the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association are out here today. They do this every year, picking up trash left by ice fisher people. The plan is to get it before the ice melts and the garbage sinks into the lake. So the question, will that ice melt soon, or are we in for some more snow? Phil Schwartz will have the answer for us next.
See, I did a character on Saturday Night Live, you know. I did a whiner, man. And I always thought, yeah, I'll work out, but I always made these excuses like, oh, it takes too long. I don't have the energy. I have to work tomorrow. Just get off your butt and get in the gym.
For total fitness, join U.S. Swim & Fitness now for just $99 for 1 year. Call 1-800-695-7777.
In March, get the True Value Bucket of Values and give your car a thorough spring cleaning. It includes all the supplies you need, like a jumbo bucket, sponges, a white wall scrubber, a polishing cloth. There's also name brand samples and money-saving coupons. Get your car in shape with the True Value Bucket of Values. In March, it's just $2.99 while supplies last at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Somehow the news is getting around about Dunkin' Donuts.
My donut's coming up to 52 varieties with no cholesterol. My donuts are made with the finest ingredients and no cholesterol. My donuts are made fresh with no cholesterol.
Dunkin' Donuts now up to 52 cholesterol-free varieties.
Look who's here.
I want your donut.
The Do Not Disturb vacation. The do all the things you've never done before vacation. The getting to know the locals vacation. The let's go out to dinner every night vacation.
Hobbit Travel, the leader in cruise and vacation savings. Call today for the special prices on Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. Caribbean Cruise now $569, including airfare from the Twin Cities.
Boy, nice day today. Hope you took a picture of it, because there is the potential for some change in this nice stuff.
Yeah, not so much tomorrow as later tomorrow night and into Tuesday. That's why we have a winter storm watch in effect. It's just a possibility at this point, so don't get the snow shovels ready, at least not yet. But we do have the potential for some wet, heavy snow later tomorrow night, I think after midnight, and into at least most of Tuesday. A pretty interesting system is developing in the northwest, and it will head our way. Today, another story, a gorgeous day. And how about this? The St. Croix Valley, you can just see way in the distance there. A few ice fishermen out there today, or ice fisherwomen, I guess you could say. Today, certainly a mild day, getting into the lower 40s. More of the same tomorrow before that next storm begins to head our way. Currently outside, it's what we have. Cloudy skies, 41 degrees. Relative humidity still quite low at 41%, but we do have a pretty strong wind out of the east at 24, gusting to 31. And the barometric pressure is beginning to fall. Weather almanac high temperature today got up to 43 degrees, 9 degrees, or actually 44, 10 degrees above average, 12 degrees shy, though, of our record high, which was 56 degrees. No precipitation to report today, nor are we expecting any. And the sun will rise tomorrow morning at 6:33. Checking temperatures out across the state, in most places quite mild, upper 30s to lower 40s, 39 in International Falls, 40 in Eau Claire, 40 in Rochester, 42 in Redwood Falls. The one cool spot, Duluth, 27 degrees, and for those of you familiar with the weather in Duluth, you know why. They got a nice breeze right off the lake, and that's keeping them quite a bit cooler, and that should be the case through the next couple of days as we'll continue with that east to southeast wind for at least the next 24 to 36 hours. Mid to high level clouds moved across the state today, produced no precipitation. Notice a few breaks back here across the Dakotas, so yeah, our skies should at least partially clear tonight. However, this is the system that's beginning to move on to the California coastline, and we're going to have to watch it very closely. Winter storm watch is now in effect for southeast North Dakota around Fargo through much of central and southern Minnesota. Now, this is not in effect until late tomorrow night and into the day on Tuesday, anywhere south of a line from Hinckley over towards Detroit Lakes. That's the area that is covered by that winter storm watch. And the reason is this storm system, it has a lot of moisture out here. It's not tapping Gulf moisture, at least not yet, but as it moves eastward, it's going to start to pull this moisture northward. Now, tomorrow, all of the precipitation will stay to our west and south, but by Tuesday, that's when things start to get interesting, beginning as early as late tomorrow night. Our forecast then for tonight, no problems, partly cloudy, mild, low temperatures right around 30. Waking up, starting your Monday morning, well, partly cloudy skies and a mild 33 degrees. During the day tomorrow, the skies will turn mostly cloudy once again. We could see a rain shower late in the day, don't count on it. And high temperatures still mild, getting at least into the middle 40s. Then we have that winter storm watch in effect for tomorrow night. Rain, mixing with sleet and snow late and then changing to wet snow. Lows only in the lower 30s, and then wet snow possibly heavy on Tuesday, especially in the morning, with highs in the low to mid 30s. Wednesday, the snow has at least the potential of continuing. Then we dry out for Thursday and Friday with high temperatures seasonable into the 30s. So we do have something to at least watch. No problems tomorrow, but later tomorrow night, things could get a bit interesting.
I know you will be watching it carefully.
As close as we can.
Oh, absolutely. That's close. Very close. Thanks, Bill. Straight ahead in sports, pucks and basketballs fly in Minnesota when the Timberwolves go up against Phoenix down at the Target Center. And the Hockey Gophers try to put a dig on the Badgers of Wisconsin over at the WCHA Final Four in St. Paul. Eric Gislason has it all for you next.
Grandpa, wake up, you gotta be dead. When you come to South Dakota, plan to stay a while. There's so much to do. This is the land where Dances with Wolves was filmed. Come, experience Dakota, South Dakota. I wish your grandma could be here.
I watched what I ate, worked out on my Easy Glider, and lost 75 pounds.
This is actual footage of Keith's home video showing his dramatic weight loss. All across America, people have found that 20 minutes every other day works to firm all major muscle groups and helps to lose weight aerobically.
I'm using my arms, my shoulder, my back, my tummy, my thighs, my legs. I get it all.
Dual resistance allows you to adjust tension for both legs and upper body.
I have tried bikes, jogging, even racquetball, and Easy Glider is definitely the best.
And this handsome unit folds down quickly for easy storage.
Call toll-free like I did to shape up and slim down with Easy Glider.
Call toll-free 1-800-522-7100. We'll bill your credit card 3 easy payments of $19.95 each. You get a full 60-day home trial with a money-back guarantee. The total price, $59.85 plus $9 shipping and handling. Call 1-800-522-7100 now.
If you'd like to see one of the largest collections of oak bedroom furniture for your home, there's no place like home. From traditional to contemporary, wall units to children's furniture, there's no place like home. And if you'd like to see prices that make it all very affordable, there's no place like home. Home Oak and Leather, now open in Roseville, 2 blocks north of Rosedale at Snelling, and Bloomington, 494 in Lindale next to Quality Lincoln Mercury. Come see us, because there's just no place like home.
Over at St. Paul Civic Center today, the ice was still kind of hot to the touch after that great high school finale last night.
Those WCHAers don't move too slowly either.
No, they don't. A good game today.
Yeah, definitely. For it being such an emotional time of the year, the Hockey Gophers were amazingly businesslike today when they beat the Wisconsin Badgers in the opening round of the WCHA Final Four. Trent Klatt was the first Minnesotan to make like a Badger buster. First period, Klatt dances around the defenseman after taking the pass from Larry Olam. He beats Dwayne Dirksen for a 1-0 Minnesota lead. Klatt was also in on the Gophers' second goal. Watch him slide the nice pass over to Larry Olam. Returning the favor, 3-on-1. Olam with a great shot for a 2-0 Gopher lead. But while Minnesota scored their first 2 on the power play, they were shorthanded when they scored their third. Jason Miller all alone, and he lights it up for a 3-0 Gopher lead. Goalie Jeff Stolp was superb. He didn't see a ton of rubber, but saves like this one on Chris Tucker all counted as the Gophers are safely into the WCHA finale. A winner over Wisconsin today, 3-2.
Tonight we played 2 very good periods, and then we stood and watched it almost dissolve on us. And well, I guess that's hockey and that's personalities, but we're pleased.
We haven't been very successful here in the WCHA tournament, and to come out and play as well as we did was a big confidence builder, and it'll help us tomorrow, and it'll help us throughout the tournament in the NCAA.
And they'll wait for the winner of the North Dakota-Northern Michigan game tonight at the Civic Center. The North Stars put their 10-game unbeaten home streak on the line tonight when Calgary comes to the Met Center. And although Stars owner Norm Green is all smiles because of the streak, nothing would make him happier than beating his old club this evening. The Stars have won 2 straight since losing 5-1 to the Flames 8 days ago north of the border. Yesterday, Minnesota whipped Detroit, and I do mean whipped 6-2 behind 3 goals and 2 assists from Ulf Dahlin. With 11 games left before the playoffs, the Stars are finding the right time to peak, and tonight they have their sights set on dousing those Flames.
It's something the guys are looking forward to. I know we didn't play near as well as we should have or could have in that game, so the guys are keyed up. We're going to have to play a really strong physical game, but we're also going to have it be a fast-skating, good transition team, because that's what Calgary really prides itself on.
All right, when it comes to high school hockey this season, it will be hard to forget King of the Hill Murray. The Pioneers were able to both dominate and play catch-up on their way to the state championship this weekend at the St. Paul Civic Center. They trailed Duluth East in the title game last evening 3-1, and then Hill scored 4 unanswered goals. The goal-ahead came from Mike Strobel midway through the third, stealing the pass and beating Wade Salzman, the Hounds goalie. The Pioneers went on to add the empty netter on their way to the 5-3 final and their second state title in 13 appearances.
After it was 2-0 and we were going in the second period, I told them, whoever doesn't want to play, you can stay right in the locker room because we're going out to play. And I was leading the charge. I got a couple breaks and a couple passes where we forechecked them hard, and I got that pass in front and put it home.
Incidentally, congratulations tonight to Richfield Senior Center Darby Hendrickson. The Gopher-bound Spartan won Mr. Minnesota hockey today over at the St. Paul Hotel. The Timberwolves had lost 11 of their last 14 before today's meeting with Phoenix. And when in a slump, the Suns are one of the worst teams that you could have on your schedule. The Hot Suns entered today riding a 5-game winning streak, 4 of which had come on the road, and it didn't take the Suns long to shake the Wolves this afternoon. Tom Chambers hits the turnaround, 28 points. Good game turned in by the Wolves' Sam Mitchell. He threw in 24 as the Wolves trailed 66-55 at the half. But Phoenix would remain one of the 4 teams that the Wolves had never beaten. Kevin Johnson coming here with a great pass that sets up Mark West, 123-109 the final. The Wolves are at Chicago on Tuesday night. College hoops. An Ohio State victory over Iowa this afternoon would have given the Buckeyes the Big Ten title outright. Jim Jackson over A.C. Earl, who commits the foul. Jackson led Ohio State with 24 points. But it would be Earl and the Hawkeyes getting the last laugh. He scored 17 for the Hawkeyes, including 2 on the slam, as Iowa pulls off the surprise 80-69, and so Ohio State has to share the Big Ten title with Indiana. The Hoosiers defeated Illinois 70-58, and Indiana and Ohio State both finished 15-3 in the Big Ten. NCAA tourney hot off the presses, top seed in the West, UNLV. Also out west, Michigan State is in the 5th seed. In the Midwest, Ohio State, the #1 seed. Iowa, the 7th seed. They'll be playing in Minneapolis. In the East Regional, #1 seed is North Carolina. Purdue is #7. And in the Southeast Regional, Arkansas is #1. Indiana is #2. And finally, the ageless Nolan Ryan threw 5 scoreless innings at the Twins' afternoon exhibition game today in Port Charlotte, Florida. But Minnesota still found a way to pull one out over the Rangers. Pat Howell's 2-run single in the top of the 9th gave the Twins a 6-5 come-from-behind victory. Stan Chili Davis went 2 for 4 at the plate, and he's the guy the Twins are banking on.
How fast is Nolan throwing those fireballs?
90, 95, 98,
Hasn't lost much, has he? Going up, huh?
Fast.
Thanks, Eric. Well, then, how about this? Music from the Caribbean warmed the hearts of Minnesotans today at the Minneapolis Institute of Arts. Calypso cadences formed the backdrop for Family Day. Those joining in learned how steel drums are made, as well as the mystery of calypso and Caribbean dance. And we'll leave you tonight with the sounds of this warm weather music. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight a little bit later than usual, about 10:13. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Meet the star of TV's Uncle Buck, actor Kevin Meaney.
Plus, the latest medical advice for women on how to avoid heart attacks.
At 3.